Chris, I'm about to reveal today's mystery guest, after which you'll be required to conduct an interesting, stimulating, and if it calls for it, humorous 3-minute interview without any prior knowledge of the subject. Good luck, my friend.
Thank you, Vassos.
Since returning last week, both you and I have been rather interested in the concept of channeling our inner chimp, which we yesterday prescribed to the trepid Tom Daly, who needs to thwart his phobia of his twisting back dive. Your mystery guest today is here to explain why this man management method is popular with several of our super sportsmen and women. Please welcome first-class forensic psychiatrist and chimp charmer, Dr. Steve Peters.
Steve on the phone.
Steve on the phone.
There may be no more records between now and 9:30. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning.
I love your book.
Thank you very much.
I really love your book. Okay, it's an amazing book. It sounds crazy. When you try and describe it to someone, they say, what's this book you're raving on about? I said, it's all about the chimp. And you sound like a crackpot when you're talking about it. And you know, I read the first chapter, and I kept looking at each sentence, and every other sentence had the word chimp in it. And even I thought I was going a bit mad. But that was the chimp within me, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I introduce it as an entertaining way of trying to understand what's going on in your head. Because obviously as a doctor, I'm trying to help people, and most of them ask for things like, get me to be happy, get me to be successful, or just give me confidence. And it's quite difficult to understand the neuroscience. So I thought, if I make it into something that's almost like really sock puppets, it's really easy, and then we can relate to it, then that's what I set out to do. And so it was an entertaining way of doing it, and thankfully it's worked for quite a lot of people.
It has worked for a lot of people. And so the inner chimp can represent what? Is it ego, the self, the selfish, the paranoid? What particularly?
It's really like an emotional machine that's actively thinking and stopping us doing what we want to do. So if you take a simple example, like most people struggle with food, for example, or just being healthy and having a healthy lifestyle. And if you say to people at the beginning of the day, are you going to eat sensibly? They'll say, absolutely, that's what I want to do. So that's what they're saying. But then throughout the day, they don't eat sensibly. And at the end of the day, what happens is a lot of people then beat themselves up and say, what is wrong with me? And I'm trying to explain, actually, nothing's wrong at all. This is quite healthy and normal, but it's unhelpful in that the inner chimp, or this machine, is actually thwarting us. Whenever we say, well, I'll just limit myself to a piece of chocolate, the chimp grabs 6 pieces, and we're left there thinking, how is this happening? And I'm just trying to say that we're not responsible for the nature of our machines, but we're responsible to manage that nature. And that's what I'm trying to do, so that people get quality of life.
So you can't overcome the chimp. That's one of your big things. You can't overcome the chimp. You've got to learn to manage the chimp. But the chimp is 5 times stronger than the human within. So how come you've come up with those particular figures, that ratio of control?
If you look at it, the first time I looked at this, the speed of reaction of neurons inside the brain determines which part of the brain gets the bite of the cherry first. And it is the inner chimp. It's the emotional aspects of the brain that move quickly and dominate the rest of the brain. So if you look at that and then look at an actual chimpanzee, a real chimpanzee, they estimate is 5 times stronger than a human. So it seemed quite natural to say that's about the speed that the brain moves at in comparison to the rest of the brain when we're looking at the chimp moving. So that's why I came up with it. But I think it rings true in life. And as I say, it is a model. It's just to try and help us understand the complex. And
the chimp can be useful. You know, the chimp's not always a pain. The chimp is there to help us with motivation, but he or she is not very good when it comes to commitment, which is the key to success.
Exactly. I mean, our chimps are actually helpful. They give us a colour in life, and you don't want to lose your emotions. You just want to select the emotions you want and then channel them in the right way.
Now, because I've become obsessed with your book, as everybody who works with me and knows me is aware over the last couple of weeks, you know, he's sort of taken over because I'm obsessed with him at the moment. Like I'm driving to work and I'm thinking, you know, if I'm driving too fast, I'm thinking, is that me or is that the chimp driving?
I think, again, it's that easy. All you're saying is, do I want to be doing this? If the answer is yes, then it's probably you. But if you're saying, actually, I don't want to be driving this fast because it's not sensible, it's quite dangerous, then you can recognise my emotional brain's taking over here, so I need to just slow it down and decide what I want to do.
And when people come to you, because I know you deal with people on a one-to-one basis, and you deal with classes and courses and seminars and speeches and all this kind of stuff, what is the overriding thing people have problems with?
I know it sounds crazy, but just being happy. I mean, what happens is people don't tend to live out their own values, or they tend to be too worried because the chimp's moving and it's anxious about what other people think about them, what may be the consequence of taking risks, and so that stops them doing that. So the chimp actually stops them to protect them, but it's not very helpful, that, because then people don't get the quality of life they want. So that's mainly the areas that I look at, is helping people to get self-development.
All right, and finally, before you go, and I could talk to you all morning because you can probably tell, you famously helped out Sir Bradley Wiggins, Sir Chris Hoy, Victoria Pendleton, the whole of Team GB cycling, the 2012 Olympics, Ronnie O'Sullivan recently, and of course, famously this summer, you took on Liverpool Football Club, who enjoyed those 11 straight wins, and were going for a record 12th. Now, on Sunday, Stevie Gerrard slipped over, didn't he? He slipped up, and Demba Ba ran through, and he scored that opportunistic goal. When Stephen Gerrard fell over, was that him falling over, or was it the chimp?
I think that was just happened to be physical. I don't think it's either you or not Chimp. I think he just slipped. The ground gave way. He can't be responsible for that. I mean, you couldn't ask for a nicer guy. He's totally committed. And obviously, at the end of it, we have to talk to the chimp and the human and say, okay, what are we going to do with this, and get back on our feet and go for the next two? Because it's all about probability at the end of the day, and hopefully we enjoy sport.
All right, pal. Well, listen, it's great. I'd love to meet up with you and have a longer chat one day, but that's just a personal thing, so I won't mention it anymore on the radio. I think I need Steve's help. And we can all do with Steve's help. The book is fantastic, The Chimp Paradox, the Mind Management Program to help you achieve confidence and happiness.